Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can use the line items feature in Deals in HubSpot to automatically generate a PandaDoc so that these three line items with their quantity and their pricing automatically goes into a PandaDoc like this, a proposal document, and we have the information flow straight through, all using Zapier. We're going to follow this Zapier setup here. It looks pretty complicated, but it's pretty straightforward. If you've seen my other videos, you'll notice a few features like loops and other things. I'm going to go through it again in this video to show you how to do it. In my last video, I went through how to set up PandaDoc with Zapier so that when you have a deal in HubSpot, then it automatically takes the information, pulls the information from HubSpot and adds it into PandaDoc. So for example, the company, the name of the proposal going in here, who it's prepared for, who has created it, who's being sent from, the signing details like this down the bottom here, like this. And in today's video, I'm going to focus on getting the pricing information in for the pricing table from the line items in HubSpot using Zapier. So you can also do it manually like this with create document. We're going to use Zapier to automatically generate this, and I'll show you how to do it. If you haven't seen the last video, I'll just very quickly touch on it. We've got the first step, the trigger step. Basically, let me click on edit drafts here. When the deal stage changes to decision maker brought in, so you can see here, the deal stage, decision maker brought in, then it finds the associations in HubSpot, gets the company data from the association for the company ID, pulls that in. I've added this extra step since yesterday's video, where what this is doing is basically saying, looking at the contact ID, and if there's more than one contact ID, then selecting the first one, because it's difficult to automate the steps if there's more than one contact ID. I might be able to put that in another video in the future, but for this video, I want to keep it simple. So we're going to just pull in the first contact ID if there are multiple contacts. You can see here, there's only one for this deal. But if I look at another deal, we would find that there might be more than one contact associated with that deal. For example, this deal here, it has two contacts associated. So it's automatically going to pull in just one of those contacts, like Lirin here, into PandaDoc, because PandaDoc really prefers just to have one contact associated, but at least to keep it simple. So we grab that first contact. We look up their details by using the get contact event in HubSpot. Now this is where it gets different for this versus yesterday's video. So we need to add in a step, the loops. So I've done a few videos about loops before in Zapier, and so I'll go through it in detail here, but you can also check out any of those other videos. Basically, a loop is going to run through these steps over and over again for each line item that we have. So we add in the step here using the app Looping by Zapier. So you can just do a search, type in loop, and you'll find that app like this, Looping by Zapier. And then we want the event create loop from line items. And then when they're using, in the action step, we're using this one here, deal to line items, which is coming in from the associations. So in the association step, we have here find associations. In the last video, I had this set to 2, I think, with just company and contact, but we want to say 3. We want to get company, contact, and line item. And in this case, there's 3 line items. So it's then pulling in these 1, 2, 3 numbers, and then it's going to run through this loop 3 times. It's going to check this first number, the second number, and the third number. I've changed this. This defaults to 500. I like to keep it a little bit smaller. I made it 50. It doesn't really matter. It just basically tells you how many times it's going to loop around if there's a maximum time. And I don't think there'll be any cases over 50. So I've just left it as 50. Then we go into the next step. So we're adding a delay step. This is just in case with loops run all at the same time. And there's a chance that it might get confused or the data might get mixed up between the steps. So I've set this so that there's a short delay of 0.1 minute per loop iteration. So basically, the first time it loops, it's going to wait 0.1. The second time it loops, the iteration will be iteration number 2. So this will automatically go 0.2, 0.3 for iteration number 3. And I've set this to minutes. So that basically we're going to naturally order the loops rather than them all running at the same time. So this is an important step to include. We then go into the HubSpot get line item step, and we pull in the line item based on the line item ID number that's coming in from the first loop step. So you've got to be careful to select the right value here. If you look at the loop step, you can see there's quite a few. You want to avoid preview because preview is only just for this setting up, looking at the Zap when we're setting it up. This is not going to work when you turn on the Zap. You want to make sure you select this one here, which is the line items, which I've named line item. You can see, let's have a look. I've called this, see here, I've called this line items. And so it's going to use that name there. And so you want to make sure we're selecting that particular property where there's only one number here. You don't want more than one. So, because it's going to search for that ID number, just one at a time. So it's looping around. Then the next step is we're going to append a digest step. So this is a function of HubSpot. This is a tool in Zapier, a free tool that exists where you can have this digest by Zapier step, and you can basically kind of save a series of pieces of data all in order in a grouping, so that we're going to append this entry to the digest. And that basically means that it's going to search and save the item name here. And then when it does the next loop, it saves the next item name. When it does the next loop, it saves the next item name. This is so we can use the line item feature in the latest steps when we set up the PandaDoc. We want to collect all the line item names together. And then we want to collect all the pricing names, the pricing data together. And then we want to collect all the quantity data together in one grouping. So we have this line item name. And then I've added in the deal ID here so that we have a unique title. And this is because this append digest will create a separate kind of collection based on the title. And if we have multiple Zaps all running parallel that all have the same title, that data might be collected all together under the digest, because the digest is for the whole account of Zapier. So we want to make this title unique. And so in this case, it's unique because it has the deal ID, which is coming from that first trigger step. And so this isn't going to be confused with any other Zaps that are running. And then we have item name. And then the entry that we're getting for this is we're pulling in the result of this get line item step here. And it'll save, and the name for that step. So it'll save that name here. And then we do the same for price, and we do the same for quantity. I like to use this feature here in Zapier where you can copy and then we can paste below. I did that twice to get these two extra ones here. You can also do duplicate, and it'll go one by one as well. So then we updated this one for price. So I changed the name to keep track. We've got the deal ID again, and then just item price instead of item name. And we have that price, unit price number here from the get line item step from before. And the same again for quantity, updated the name. We've got the item quantity here with the deal ID again, and then we make sure we get the quantity property popping in here under the entry. And that's going to collect all this data here in this loop, 1, 2, 3. And then we tell the loop to stop running, because otherwise the loop will just continue down the workflow here. So we need to have a filter step to basically say, don't continue running, the loop. And we just say that the loop iteration is last, which is one of the properties under the create loop step. We can see this one here, loop iteration is last equals either false or true. And we want to say that when it is true, when it's the last iteration, then you should go through to the next step. So that's what this filter step is. When it's last iteration, when it is equal to true, then continue. And so we continue down. And then the next thing we have to do is release all the digest items. So this is the collection that we've done before with the loop, 1, 2, 3. We then release those out into the Zap. And we can see here an example. So this is run through twice. So we've got these two that have come through, and it gets automatically formatted into a list, which we can use. So we can see here we've selected, we need to tell it which digest we want to release because we have multiple. we just copy the same formatting here, the same naming convention. So we've got the deal ID number and then the word item name. Okay, it's important to write this in like this. You can't select the digest because this is going to change for every Zap. So this is going to get mixed up if you use this from previous names, previous ones you set up. So you want to make sure you have it set to custom. You have the ID token here and then the item name written out. The same for item price name written out. Again, just to be clear, this is matching with the name we've set for the digest, the append digest step. See this title here. So we just got to make sure that matches up. Price and then quantity, same again with the quantity. And then we've got all the detail coming through like this. And then we can then create our PandaDoc. So we have a PandaDoc create document step, which I went through in the last video. So we can see here we've got the document name that's coming in. I've added the text proposal at the end of that document name. This is from the deal. We have our template, which is the sample sales proposal template. We're not going to send the document, so we could select to send the document directly out to the target, to the audience, or our sales lead. In this case, I want to be able to edit the document, so I just want to say I don't want to send it, and I want to be able to get it in draft and make changes to it. If we set this to yes, then it would send out this message in the email as well, but we don't want to do that. And it's not a very good looking email either. So I'd lean away from using this, but it's possible. And then you've got the details of who's sending it saved in here, which is me, my company. And then we have the details of who we're sending it to. And this is obviously got to be coming in from earlier steps. So this is coming from step 5, where we've got the email address and the contact name that's come through here, first name, last name, and then the company name that's come in from step 3. And then we can throw in the company domain, the company name again. Here, these are the tokens within the template. And then we can get the pricing information in. So let's have a look at the template for a sec. So this is our PandaDoc template. And these are the tokens which automatically get filled in. So if we have a look at an example here, we can see sales proposal for Hut, the name, my name, etc. And then what we want to do is populate this pricing table. This is default information that automatically comes in, but we can edit this. We can basically fill this in automatically with our Zap. If we go to properties, we can see the name of our table here. It's important that we use this exact name in the Zap as well. So you can see here, the name here, it should read the same way. Don't change this name unless you're going to change it in the template. Otherwise it may not work. Also, I think it's important to keep the currency the same as well. So keep an eye on that. I haven't done much testing if you change these things around too much. So you can try it out, but I would try and keep it consistent. We've got our currency here under pricing table settings. So make sure they're both the same currency if you can. And then we have the data coming through. So we want everything in this kind of box here are the items, the line items that have looped around. So this is our name, which has come in from our release digest step 13, like this. Then we've got our price ID, our price number here. So you can see 1, 2. And again, also important to note, select the list. Don't select, if we're looking at 13, don't select final digest because that's just a string of text. You want to select the list, which is formatted into a list. That's critical. So you got list for 13, you got list for the 14, you got list for 15, which is our quantity. And then the same logic applies if you're doing discounts or descriptions as well, but I've skipped that for this example. If you have any issues with that, let me know and I can help you put that part in as well. And then that's it. And then we can just go to test the step like this. And we're going to end up with this content like this. So basically the detail comes in like this, 1, 2, 3, the amounts, it all adds up automatically as well. We've got our signing details like that. We can also see the total amount up here for the document. We go to my documents. We can also see that detail here as well. In this case, I sent this out as a test, so you can see that it's been sent, but normally it should come through as a draft with these settings. And we have that amount here. And then that's it. So it's pretty simple. There's a lot of steps, but it is quite simple once you get your head around it. It's important that you follow this exactly. If you change any of these steps slightly, it can cause issues as well. But And it does seem like there's a lot here, but this is just the way it works if you want to set up the loop to run like this. But at least once it's set up, then you kind of don't have to worry about it. And it should hopefully work for all your deals and all your proposals and everything else you want to use PandaDoc for. So, and then obviously the next step, final step, is to click publish and then to test it and make sure it's working live as well. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Share any questions and comments down below. If this video is useful, please like the video, please share it. And if you want to see more content like this about HubSpot, Zapier, PandaDoc, other sales and marketing tools, please feel free to subscribe, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.